Okay, here we go.
Bwaaa!
Hey there. Welcome to Bwaaa,
Bwaaa!
King of the Hill podcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm still rusty.
Rusty, I bought myself a neck brace.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
That's nice, huh?
Yeah, it looks perfect.
Yeah. No, I had a little neck surgery on 4 of my vertebrae.
Okay. Hold on. We can't hear you. I can't hear you. Yeah, I'm not able to hear you, Mike.
How about now?
Now I can hear you. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, there we go.
All right. So I'm not sure when that stopped, but
It stopped again. It just stopped again. It just stopped again. Well, hello everybody. It is me, still rusty. And I wonder if I am even audible. We'll find out. Hold on.
how about now?
Yeah, we got you loud and clear.
Stupid thing.
Yeah,
All right, let's start over real quick.
Yeah, we can do that.
Give me 1 second. Here we go.
Bwaaa!
Hey there. Hello there. Hi there. Welcome to Bwaaa,
Bwaaa!
King of the Hill podcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm still rusty. Still old rusty.
Rusty, we're doing this remote. I bought myself a nice little neck brace here and had a coupon for some surgery, so went ahead and got that done. But getting there, every day is a little bit better. Having trouble swallowing, but like I said, insert your own joke there. So, how are you?
I'm all right. Sounds
Good.
like I'm a lot better than you currently.
I'm all right. I took this. I took it. I went into this knowing exactly what it would be, and it's kicked my butt just a little bit harder than that. But other than that, it's fine. And I also took this time to get so many things done. So like, I got my sinuses done, and then 2 weeks later, got my throat or my neck done, and then I think that's it for now.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
Not it all out, get it all taken care of.
Other than getting a nice Brazilian,
nice Brazilian, yeah. Brazilian steak.
Hey, Artie, how are you? Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. And I was in a box. Hello. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, appreciate everybody here.
Glad we're on that while you can watch. So this week, including yesterday, which if you're watching us on Monday, it would have been Thursday. We've had a little rough spell of deaths. Thank you, Desdemona. Appreciate it.
Oh, celebrity-wise, yeah, there's been some celebrity deaths. There's just
been some celebrity deaths. And so I went to look them up to see if any of them ever been on King of the Hill. And,
there's a few, of course, Chuck, sure.
We know Chuck, Chuck Mangione. Again, I'm sorry that he's gone, and I'm sure we'll miss him, but he was 84. He's put in some good time. And
yeah, he did.
He's a guy that could make a joke out of himself, and that's always nice,
Yeah, I appreciate the fact that as a former trumpet player myself, that there was that just shows how good he was at what he did. Because very very rarely in life do you see somebody known for just playing an instrument like Yo-Yo Ma with the cello, and that I can't remember her name. Her name's like Lindsay something like that, but she's like a violinist. You know, it's like to be able to get to the pinnacle of your instrument and then be like Grammy nominated just based on your instrumentation is just, I think that speaks volumes for the determination and grit and practice behind the instrument to get to that point.
No, that's absolutely right.
Yeah.
He was an amazing. Like you know, one of these things is like with these kind of people, trumpets, flute players, things like that. They're often way more popular. Yeah, Zemfir. They're often way more popular overseas than they are here.
Yeah.
Just simply
Yeah.
because it's not easy to, you know, it's not like they're putting out albums all the time and they've got big tours and things like that. Yes, they do, but it's not quite the same as like the rock and roll country world that we've all been shoved into.
Yeah, no, I think the world's more cultured than we are too. I think that's why they can listen to
That's part
instruments.
of it as
Yeah.
well. Hey, so there were big, I guess there were four that really got me. You know, Malcolm Jamal Warner, number one.
That one was tough. Yeah, that
That
was
was
tough.
super sad because it sounded like he didn't really have any issues necessarily. He just had
Nah,
that.
he drowned. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course,
So,
Ozzy. Ozzy was a big deal.
yeah, Ozzy for sure. Ozzy's a big deal for me, and I'll go into that just a little bit. So,
Just between me and you,
uh,
Ozzy should have been dead 20 years ago.
he should have been
Uh,
dead 40 years ago, probably, maybe
yeah,
even 50 years ago. But for Ozzy, for me, uh, so you know, being a kid in this area in the 2000s and stuff like that, there was a really big music scene for metal and punk and stuff like that. And just to think that these kids from Birmingham got together, said, "Hey, let's make our own sound." Used all this jazz and blues influence, used the classical influence like on the guitar and the arpeggios and stuff like that with the guitar riffs. It just is it's crazy to think that just those three guys were able to influence music so much that they helped spawn an entire genre of heavy metal. You don't get Judas Priest for 10 more years after them. So with the dark and the gloominess and bringing the horror side of movies to music, like Black Sabbath is the first to like produce that sound and that type of like vibe. And for me that's huge because I'm a metalhead. I love metal music, you know, and to think that some of the best you know, metal guitarists and metal singers and stuff like that, they're influenced, you know, a lot of them will tell you Black Sabbath is like where they get a lot of the like the sound and stuff from. Judas
yeah,
Priest is
absolutely.
pretty big too because of the look and everything, like with all
Sure.
the metal studs and all that kind of thing. But like Black Sabbath is like the originator of that stuff.
Black Sabbath is always the one that we go back to. When did Zeppelin come around?
Zeppelin is after the Yardbirds ended because Jimmy Page was in the
Yeah.
Yardbirds. They started the new Yardbirds,
Yeah.
and then after that, they went into Led Zeppelin. But that was like around that same time. It was like the 60s and stuff like that, the late 70s or early 70s. But they're like the psychedelic because that's where metal comes from, is like that psychedelic rock.
Sure.
That's where like it comes from. And then you know, there's this video that I was listening to. Now that Ozzy passed away, I just doing a little diving on heavy metal. There was this video where they talked about the origins of heavy metal, and they talk about some really like songs that I would never have thought would be, you know, like considered heavy, but some of the heaviest songs out. Helter Skelter is one of them. At that
Sure.
time when that came out, that was like one of the heaviest songs as far as like instrumentation and the yelling and stuff. The Helter
Yeah, it's
Skelter,
crazy to
that
think
kind
that
of
the
stuff.
Beatles. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like you start to see those early elements in that, and it's like Black Sabbath kind of was like the culmination of all that.
Yeah, you know, when you think back to it, there's only a few pillars, honestly, that far back, and it's Black Sabbath and probably Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin. You know, you start throwing
Yeah,
those things in there. Corey Goodman says Zamfir sold more albums than the Beatles. His music's better too. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's a Hank quote. Nice job. Artie says they went from being banned when I was in middle school to being played at every commercial break in an NFL game. And yeah, that's
Deep Purple's another one that they say.
Deep
Smoke
Purple,
on the
yep.
Water. Yeah, that's another
Yep.
one they say.
Yeah, Deep Purple.
But
it's all
Deep
kind of the same
Purple,
thing. Again, you've
that
got
psychedelic kind of stuff.
you
That's
can count them on one
psychedelic
hand.
stuff.
You know, the ones that created this whole genre.
Yeah.
I was happy. I was lucky enough to see Ozzy 3 or 4 times. It was great concert. Saw Fat Ozzy, saw Skinny Ozzy, saw Big Hair Ozzy. It was a lot of fun to go to those concerts just because.
Did you see him as Black Sabbath or as Ozzy?
No, as Ozzy. Yeah, I saw him as Ozzy, definitely.
Okay.
But Bark at the Moon tour, and then anything after that, probably 2 more or 3 more albums after that. But the one picture I liked that they posted was him and Zakk Wylde, like together again, you know, that kind of thing.
That's another one of my favorites, Zakk
cool.
Wylde too, because he kind of carried the torch for the Black Sabbath stuff.
Yeah.
He carried the torch for Pantera. You know, so he's kind of done a couple of those things where he's carried
between him and Steve Vai. I mean, those two were very, very influential, and people don't mention their names very much because they weren't really the band, you know.
Zakk Wylde is phenomenal at his instrument. Like, he is an amazing. He's probably one of my favorite guitarists for sure. I really like Zakk Wylde.
Did you ever see Joe Satriani? He played with all these guys too.
Yeah, I know who Joe Satriani is for sure.
He was a bassist, and the only reason I went to see him is because he had Silver Surfer on the cover of his CD.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay.
And so went to see him, I think in San Antonio. It was the only concert I've ever been to where there was no guitar solo. It was just bass solo in the middle of it.
Solo.
Until I went to a Primus show, and then there you go. You know, Primus is all freaking bass.
That's all it is.
There's an article here. The reason I bring up Ozzy is 1, Rip, 2, how Ozzy Osbourne will live on in King of the Hills Boomhauer. So honestly, when you think about it, their 2 speech patterns are pretty close.
Similar, yeah, except for one's got a more English. You know, obviously Ozzy sounds a little more English. Well, Sharon. You know, I was watching a video clip of the Osbournes because now that he's passed, the Osbourne is kind of, I guess they sold the rights to it and got it going again on streaming and stuff. So there was just like this one scene where he's just cussing at all the animals in the house. There's like 3 or 4 cats and some dogs, and he's trying to grill chicken. So he's trying to prep the chicken on the counter, and there's like a cat trying to get to the chicken, and he's like, "Don't you fucking get my chicken? Don't you fucking Sharon, get this fucking cat? This gosh damn dog, this fucking dog." And it's just he's just sitting there cussing at all the animals.
Yeah, I like that's a good one. I was in a box. Ozzy sounds like a fancy Boomhauer.
Yeah, fancy Boomhauer.
It does kind of sound like a fancy Boomhauer. And then the other one I wanted to talk about was Hulk Hogan. Now, there's somebody out there who says that he was on King of the Hill. He was not.
He was not on King of the Hill, and he was not a great human being. He was not a nice human being.
No, but I want to talk about early Hulk, and then talk about when this would have been that he would have showed up on King of the Hill, which he did not. But there's somebody out there pushing. What is it? It's the episode where he makes the fancy ass doghouse because of the dander problem, right? And somebody out there is pushing the fact that he was on that. They're full of crap. He was never on it. Yeah, like Artie says, he was on American Dad. I get that, but anyway, Ozzy was never on it. I mean, Hulk Hogan Ozzy was never. I mean, Hulk Hogan wasn't. Now, the one that was Jake the Snake.
Yeah, Jake the Snake was on.
He was on there. He was on there. Now, Hulk Hogan, big deal when I was a kid. You know, big wrestling deal.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but
Macho Man is what I meant.
Yeah, also on I think the Iron Sheik was on King of the Hill.
Oh, maybe so.
I don't know. I have to verify that. But yeah, I'm sorry.
Ozzy, no, you're fine. Ozzy for me, I mean, geez, I just keep getting them mixed up. Hulk Hogan for me was a big deal. Never really liked him, just as a wrestler, because I thought it was kind of cheesy and goofy. But Stone Cold was the one that came along next, who was kind of the anti Hulk Hogan, and so that's the one I
Yeah.
worked with, and I really enjoyed that. But anyway, I think that if you ever watch that documentary about Vince McMahon, there's a lot of stuff in there about Hulk Hogan and how he turned on people over and over and over. He also was
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you again, but it was Macho Man
right.
Randy Savage that
Yeah.
was on King of
Yeah.
the
Not
Hill.
Jake the Snake. Yeah. It was Macho
Yeah,
Man.
it was Macho Man, yeah. But Hulk Hogan was on Robot Chicken. They had Hulk Hogan, Iron
Yeah.
Sheik, and Roddy Piper that did a Robot Chicken thing. And I like the Iron Sheik and the Hulk Hogan's feud. That's what I like about Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, it was fun, and it's really sad to see how the rest of his life played out. It's almost like once he turned heel, to go to ECW or not ECW, but go to WCW. It's
His
like his
whole
whole
life
life.
went heel,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like his whole life went heel, which is really weird. Let's see, was that the
Yeah,
episode
definitely
where
weird.
Bill gets yoked after diabetes diagnosis? That's what Desdemona's asking.
Oh, I'm not 100%.
Jesse Ventura definitely.
Oh
hated
yeah, it is.
A
It
lot of them
is. It's
hated
that
Hulk.
one. He's right. Desdemona Mortem is right. That's the one where uh the Macho Man episode is the one where Bill gets ripped. He gets all jacked and stuff. But yeah, so my favorite thing was the Iron Sheik Hulk Hogan beef, because that beef like played out on social media, which was kind of funny watching two 70-year-old men go at it on social media. But the Iron Sheik is funny because even after he died, I guess his estate, whoever had control of his Twitter, would post every so often, "Fuck you, Hulk Hogan," and I think that's amazing that even in his death, he Iron Sheik hated Hulk Hogan so much that they perpetuated it. Yeah, a lot of people really didn't like Hulk Hogan. Jesse
No.
Ventura, I'm sure most black wrestlers probably didn't like him either.
Well, he also turned out to be kind of a liar. He lied about a lot of things.
Yeah, the more you dig into a lot of these early sports and how they're formed, not just wrestling, but even if you look into some of the early stuff behind baseball and football and basketball, you find some kind of nefarious dude that's behind it. There's some kind of businessman or
Yep.
some of the actors that are involved in setting up these organizations. There's always kind of some kind of flaw to the system kind of thing.
Well,
But
it's usually, I mean, the kind of guys that it takes to get this kind of money and this kind of distribution and to kind of be an iron-hearted, boss. Those are
yeah.
not the kind of guys you want to hang out with anyway, to be honest
Nah,
with you.
probably not. And Vince McMahon did take something that his dad was almost broke with and make it, $1 billion a company. It's kind of I watched
He
that
did.
Vince McMahon story on Netflix. It was
Yeah.
pretty interesting. For all the things, that are evil about him, he did create, and that's what really his ruthlessness is what allowed him to create the WWE, because
Yes.
he'd go into those
Yes.
smaller territories and just dominate those territories and go in there and just buy everybody out. And he did it till he owned everything to do with wrestling in the United States.
Artie said he got yoked when he had to take his physical. The diabetes episode was when Bill got a wheelchair.
Oh, okay. Well, either or, yeah.
I was in the box, said, wait, Hulk Hogan was a liar? Are you telling me he didn't play bass in Metallica?
Yeah, he did. I saw it. I was
And by the
there.
way, you guys need to check out his chain restaurants, his chain spaghetti restaurants. He was
Yeah.
going to start his, what was it? Was it Hulkster pasta or something? It was something really stupid like that.
Yeah, and I liked him in Beverly Hills Ninja or whatever he was in, but
Where he's
we'll
with
let
that little dog.
we'll let him rest in we'll let him rest peacefully.
Yeah, I can't
he's
imagine. I can't imagine being one of these guys' kids though. Even like Ozzy, that would have been very hard.
I imagine Ozzy's relationship with his kids is, it's funny to say because everybody would say that Ozzy is this or that. He slaughters animals and sacrifices this, and he's worships Satan, but he really was like a devout member of the Church of England, which is a Christian church. And, you know, maybe not for maybe his first two kids, you can't say, but at least for the three kids that he had with Sharon, like he was there in their lives and involved in their lives more than most rock stars were involved in their kids' lives. So, you know, I don't know. I feel like with Ozzy's death compared to Hulk Hogan's death, Hulk Hogan's kids pretty much disliked the guy pretty much, because Brooke Hogan, he called I don't know, I think it was her boyfriend or something is who he said the N-word to or about, that he got caught on like camera saying. So like I don't know, I feel like you know, they're probably upset. It's still their dad, but I feel like maybe they don't feel the same way, you know.
Sure.
Maybe
Hey, I
I
want
don't
to give
know.
you an update on something. By the
Yeah.
way, I installed a Ring doorbell at my house. You know,
Oh yeah.
what I didn't realize is that Ring doorbells come with an online community
Yeah,
of
they
people.
do. Yeah.
This one says, I backed into my driveway with a blinker. She proceeds to deface my mailbox a few minutes later. If you know her, comment the name so it could be added to the police report. So there's this poor lady who's just like backing out of her driveway.
Yeah.
See that? Okay.
She didn't touch
And
anything, did
then
she?
this old lady comes up to her mailbox and starts messing with it. Every day that she leaves, she comes up and starts messing with her mailbox.
That's weird.
I don't know.
That's hilarious.
I love that kind of stuff though. That neighborhood app, things like
Oh,
that.
I love that too. Oh, there was one time that killed me. It was a woman whose husband who had died, and all she did for 9 months after he died was buy shoes. And she gave this long description of why she was selling the shoes. She was like, well, my husband died, and when my husband died, I started doing and it's just this really long paragraph where she explains that she was doing retail therapy and she bought a bunch of shoes, and you know, how her husband died, and she explained how he died and all that. And
all the dogs are running streets.
What killed me was the comment section. There was one there's only one that I remember. There was a ton of funny ones, but there's only one that I remember is, oh, sorry your husband died. These are a size 9. They won't fit me. Good luck with selling your shoes. Kill that just, I don't know, it was the most funniest thing on the world. It was just a bunch of like 60, 70, 80-year-old women just talking about shoes and saying, sorry your husband died. Those are a size 9, won't fit me. I'm a size 7. And it's just like filled with that kind of stuff all through there. Like they don't even have to comment. If it's not your size shoe, you don't have to say anything. But
One
they're
of
like,
the
oh, size 9, that's too big for me. Sorry your husband died.
One of the best things I listen to is called The Neighborhood Listen. It's with Paul F. Tompkins, and I know I've mentioned it here before, but that's exactly what it is. They just make fun of those posts and stuff. Very, very good show. If you guys need something to listen to other than us, please go check
those
that out.
posts are hilarious. It just doesn't like. I feel like social media wasn't fully understood by that generation, and they don't understand that they're like you could filter what you see. You don't have to tell every detail in your head. You know, it's like those ones that are bad where it's like a grandpa trying to look up porn and he's on Facebook and he's like big tits and he hits enter and he sends just the word big tits to his Facebook page. It's you know, it's that kind of incompetence.
Well, and the ones that I always love are the backgrounds that don't match. So it'll be like happy birthday, you know, that kind of thing with somebody like that with presents all around it and go, you know, Jeff died yesterday or something, you know, that doesn't fit.
Yeah.
All right. Artie says 2 big shoes. Was it Peggy? Did Hank die? Yeah, I know we got a little off the rails there.
Oh, we're allowed to. It's our show.
Hey, thanks, Artie. Thanks, I was in a box. Thanks, Desdemona. Thanks to Cody. Blah 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 blah. You guys,
thanks to everybody.
You guys are what makes it worth doing this. We really appreciate it. Sorry, I couldn't do a little bit longer today. My voice is kind of kicking my butt after this, but next week we should be fine.
Yeah, we'll be back to it. Is it? I can't remember, and I feel bad if I'm getting it wrong. I was in a box. Isn't it you that wants to come to the studio? He's got like two different. I don't think it's I was in a box.
I don't think it was either.
I think I'm confusing him with the other guy. Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I'm confusing him with the other guy. Okay,
We've got a person in town that really wants to be on the
yes,
show.
I am.
And that's why we didn't try to do an actual episode this time, because we knew they were going to be shorter and my voice will only go so long. So
yeah, and I don't know what that guy's availability is. I got to get back with him and find
next
out.
one we
what his
do, I would
availability
love
is.
to do that with him. That'd be great, because he wanted to specifically be on that episode. So
yeah, I'm gonna get with him again and
All right.
find out when his off day is, so we can.
Well, tell him where they can find us.
You can find us at bwaaakoth@gmail.com is our email. Send us an email. And also, you can find us at bwaaakoth on all social medias. Go to our Facebook, YouTube. Give us follow, like, subscribe, hit notification bells. We do go live when we record. So if you hear us talking to people like Artie, I was in a box, Desdemona Mortem, blah blah blah, if you hear us talking to any of those people, that's where we're talking to them at. So go over there to YouTube, hit the notification. I also want to thank everybody that subscribed to us recently. We're at 1.23k subscribers now, and we couldn't do that without you guys. We do appreciate everybody following us and doing all that. You're helping out and getting our show out there. Also tell a friend about our show, and hope you all have a great week. Oh yeah, word of mouth. That's pretty much a lot of what has been done for our show is word of mouth. So keep passing it on to the next one. Also want to give a shout out to the Ho Yeah podcast.
Yeah.
They've kicked their show back up again. I don't know how long they're going to run for, but I've went back and watched a lot of their episodes. So yeah, they're back again, and wish them a lot of success. So y'all go give them a shout out and check them out.
Still would love to talk to them on the show.
Yeah, I need to reach back out to them and see where they're at with that. It would be great to talk to them. If anybody on this show wants to go comment on their stuff and be like, hey, it would be great to hear y'all do this with them or collaborate with them or whatever, that would be cool too. So Ho Yeah, Ho Yeah, exclamation point, Ho Yeah podcast. Like we picked what Hank says, Bwaaa. They picked what Peggy says, Ho Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I didn't even think about that. I never really correlated that. That's like Peggy's catchphrase and Hank's catchphrase for our correlating podcast, two guys and two women. Yeah, no, that never really clicked. That's cool.
I'm sure we could
find yeah.
I'm sure we could find a That's Not My Purse podcast.
There is, I'm pretty sure that I think there is one
created, out there. You've finished the triangle at that point.
You have, and then it would need to be just a big group episode with everybody. And then we need
guys, thanks again for joining us.
A Shasha podcast.
Shasha. That's true.
There you go.
It's true. And then the other one's just
Pocket Sand the podcast, and it's just a conspiracy.
It's a Pocket Sand cast.
There you go. I was gonna say it could just be a Pocket Sand the podcast. It's just a conspiracy theory podcast.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. Yeah,
it's not a bad one. All right, guys, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Thanks for understanding during this kind of shorter episode, but we'll see you again. We've got one on Friday, and then we'll see you again on Monday.
And if you're in the chat on YouTube, hold on. We'll be right back. And for everybody else, we Matanye.
We Matanye indeed, my friend.
All right.
Okay. There's one.
That is one.
You've got a couple of things you want to talk about on this one, right?
Well, not a couple of things, like 10 things.
Okay.
So up on Hulu now, they have the descriptions for each episode for King of the Hill season 10.
Okay.
So I was going to say the name and talk about the description.
Yeah, let's do that.
Speculate.
I'm probably
a lot of time.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm probably just going to add on to, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. It'll probably fill up enough time.
Okay, I'm just saying. I'm getting a little hoarse here. So
yeah, no worries. No, I know how that goes. Like I said, my dad had a similar surgery because they went through your neck right here.
Yeah,
they went through right here, and they went in and they put like a cage in around your spine right here.
Yeah,
they did the exact same thing to my dad. Yeah. He couldn't excuse me. he can't turn his head in a car
Really?
anymore. He's got to
Yeah.
like twist his body to look to
Yeah.
the side or whatever. Yeah.
Well, next Friday or next Thursday, I get this thing off, and so
Yeah, you should have a little
be
bit of mobility.
that'll be
Yeah.
a big difference. Yeah, it's just the constant, thing. But anyway, all right, here we go. Hello there. Welcome to Bwaaa, King of the Hill podcast. I'm Mike.
Bwaaa, yeah, and I am Rusty, man. We got an episode for them today, Mike.
Yeah, well, welcome to That Ain't Right Friday, where we do more of a King of the Hill adjacent type stuff. But I think today is right on target.
Yeah, right on target. So as everybody knows, King of the Hill releases now in we're almost to less than a week away from King of the Hill.
That's nice.
For the new season. So on Sunday, is that what it is? Yep, it is. I actually would probably take off work that night, Mike, if you want to meet up at the studio and do something for the release. So they've released on Hulu now the descriptions for each episode. Right. They've also released a bunch of stuff. They got a whole Comic-Con event going on right now. So if you're in the San Diego area, they have a free King of the Hill thing that you can go check out. I was watching in the King of the Hill groups on Facebook today, everybody posting different things about it. There's a guy that had at one point he had King of the Hill. He's somebody that I want to get on the show. He's actually affiliated with Fleischer Studios.
Yeah.
He does a lot of the 4K remastering and helping with that process for a lot of the old cartoons that they do. And he also had a license at one point to do King of the Hill, licensing from the production company or whoever owns the licensing for merch for them. And he used to do shirts and things like that for King of the Hill. Well, he posted, and I sent the picture to you. I texted it to you. Picture of King of the Hill figurines that are coming out too. So it looked like they were really articulated too. Like you could see in some of it where there's like articulation everywhere. So that'd be cool to get a hold of some of that. I actually, if you guys want to donate it, if not, I'm going to buy some for my collection anyway. But I want to get the King of the Hill Funko Pops. I want to try to get as much of King of the Hill stuff as I can with all this new stuff coming out. Also, the Alamo beer. So the Alamo beer releases soon. Let me just look that up. So the Alamo beer,
I think it's
is really soon.
I think it's going to be at HEB too.
Yeah, it's going to be at HEB. HEB is going to be the main seller.
Yeah.
In the state of Texas for sure. It's gonna be like their number one place to get it. But I want to say, well, it just says coming soon on their page, but I was pretty sure there was an actual date for it. Well, either way, the beer company is a beer company out of San Antonio called Alamo Beer Company. Coincidentally, not because of
not the same
the
one.
Alamo. It's because it's based out of San Antonio. So
yeah.
Like the Alamo beer in the show, this Alamo beer is also named after the Alamo, not named after each other, kind of thing. So, they have teamed up with King of the Hill and the powers that be. I guess Hulu is the one you would say. Disney, Hulu, yeah, all those guys, and that beer will be out soon. And when it does, we owe somebody a 6-pack. We owe that beer podcast guys a 6-pack whenever. I've got his address in my email. All right, so we'll get into it. Season 14, episode 1.
Okay.
Return of the King. So that's kind of, it's probably just going to be like a recap of everybody's
gotta find out where everybody's at,
the readjustment. So it says here Hank and Peggy struggle to readjust to their old life. Bobby runs into a childhood friend in Dallas. So whatever that means. I want to say, based on some of the clips that we've seen, I want to say that it's Wasana song that he sees at the restaurant. I feel like that's who it probably is. Continuing, here we go. Season 14, episode 2, the beer story. So Hank and Bobby compete in a home beer brewing competition. And then Boomhauer bonds with Luke Jr. I imagine Luke Jr. is his stepson. I'm just gonna guess. I don't know who Luke Jr. is. It's a character that's never been presented before. So he bonds with Luke Jr. over non-alcoholic beer. So maybe Luke Jr. is the black guy that we see standing in front in Hank's backyard. Maybe that's who that is. I don't know. That, again, that's all just speculation. We'll find out that soon enough. This episode to me is going to kind of funny. Bobby gets grilled, season 14, episode 3. So it says here, in his search for authentic Robata charcoal. So Bobby is not only a charcoal head, he is a aficionado with charcoal cooking, because he has Robata, which Robata cooking style is the flat open fireplace, like the Japanese cooking. So
we just got a Korean barbecue place here in town.
Yeah, we did, and a Brazilian steakhouse, I think.
Yeah, the Korean place, I can tell you, I went before my surgery. It was very, very good.
Oh, very good. Well, good, because I like Korean food. I've had authentic Korean food. My uncle, growing up, he's South Korean. He's dead now, but he had the spot right next to Jasper's, Lee's Drive-In. That was his burger joint forever. But they used to have events at their church, and it's a Korean church. He sponsored the church to be built, like he paid for the church's construction.
Yeah, sure.
And they would do big events like weddings or birthdays. They would do them there. So some of my family would have their birthday there or whatever, and we'd go to my uncle's birthday. And when you're at the Korean church, they give you headphones, and they have a guy that sits in a booth and translates what the pastor's saying in English, because it's a Korean service.
Yeah.
And then when you're done in the fellowship hall, it's all these older Korean ladies with like the most authentic spread you could get, because most of them are like first generation. Back then when I was young, they were like in their 50s or 60s. They're first generation.
Anytime I think of Korean church, I always think of that thing from The Office where they bought a van, but they didn't have time to take the lettering off the side. So every time they stop, somebody tries to get on the Korean church van.
Yeah. Well, on this description for season 14, episode 3, it says Bobby is accused of cultural appropriation of Japanese culture, I'd imagine. But he could say, well, my uncle is half Japanese.
Yeah.
So am I really appropriating the culture if he is kind of blessed it? Okay, so the Hills and the Gribbles go to the Bush Presidential Library where Dale incites an incident. So whatever that might be. Season 4.
That to me sounds like an old episode. You know what I mean? Like that sounds like from the original. Yeah.
The tower at the college.
Yeah.
That thing. Yeah. Season 14, episode 4, Chore Money, Chore Problems. So in this episode, there's an app for handymen, and Hank joins the app where people could text and say, hey, Hank,
bored.
We need you to come do this or come do that.
Yeah, sure.
So he struggles to get a good rating. So he's doing everything. He wants a good rating so bad, so he's doing everything he can to get a good rating. And then Bobby learns that Connie is dating a mutual friend.
Yeah.
Is she dating Joseph? Is that what it ends up being?
I don't think so.
I guess we'll find out.
I think this is where the wokeness will creep its way in.
Well, no, I think that they will be. I think that they'll be dating at least for an episode, if nothing more than that one episode. And the reason why I think they'll be dating is because they're the two that stayed. Everybody else left town. Bobby left, but they might have stayed behind and went to Arlen Community College or something like that.
Yeah.
So they were just out of the only two that knew each other, kind of thing, that stayed back. Maybe they formed a bond through that. I don't know. I like to think it's not Connie.
Artie did quote one of my favorite lines, which is the ocean. Which ocean? No, Laocean.
That is a pretty good one.
That's a great one. Yeah.
Alamo beer based on Lone Star beer, probably. Yeah, I would say that was probably an inspiration for it, maybe. But I really just want to say the Alamo itself, Alamo beer itself, just being in San Antonio near the Alamo, everything down in San Antonio is Alamo this, Alamo that, Alamo rental, Alamo dome, Alamo beer. So it's just a regional thing. It's the biggest thing San Antonio's got as far as historical relevance in the world. That's like the most historical thing. That's the center of San Antonio. Yeah.
It's pretty much the Alamo, the Spurs, and the Market.
Yeah,
those are the three big.
that's it. I mean, it's a pretty the area down there is pretty. I mean, it's a pretty little
I
town.
love that
yeah.
city. I think it's a great city.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. They got a good burger joint down there. Big Boys.
Big Boys is good. I will fight you over that and say Chester's is better.
I've never had Chester's. Unfortunately, Chester's was never close enough to where I was at that I ever stopped there. But Big Boy was right next door to a wine place, and I had to wait like 30 minutes sometimes for the lady that owned it or whatever to get there. And I would get to there about 11:30, and that's the only stop I had in San Antonio. So I'd go and order a burger. But what I liked about it is every month or so they change the shakes. They have like specialty shakes. Like one was like an Andes mint shake, and
that's cool.
One was like a strawberry cheesecake. But it's not a solid menu item. It's like a limited time thing, and they just come out with them every so often. They have a new one, so that's kind of good. So let's go back.
Do not go to the Magic Time Machine in San Antonio.
No, don't do that.
You will be greatly disappointed.
Yeah, I heard it's not very good.
Ooh.
Okay, so new ref in town, season 14, episode 5. Hank secretly becomes a soccer referee. And in the thumbnail for the video, you could see Hank sitting in the stands, looking a little chubby, looking a little heavy. He looks a little heavy in this picture. And then you've got Boomhauer in the yellow with two black stripes down it, and he's in a soccer referee outfit. So Bobby goes to buy a car and leaves the dealership with more than he bargained for. So there's that's the A and B of that.
We don't think about that. You know, all the stuff that we're going to see Bobby do for the first time.
Yeah, no. Oh, I was in a box. What do you do for work? Oh, biopharmaceutical manufacturing. That's a tongue twister. Say it 5 times fast. So what's the next one? Peggy's fade out.
Already asked, isn't San Antonio known for all the silica in its dust? I don't know about that, Artie. I don't know.
That is what it's known for is a bunch of dudes from Tennessee and Arkansas kicking ass until they couldn't kick ass no more.
Yeah.
From what I understand. That whole story is pretty badass. John Wayne's got a great movie that talks a lot about it. If you want to watch that movie, that's probably one of the best movies about the Alamo. Is the Alamo with him in it? Honestly, I think John Wayne would be a King of the Hill fan.
They actually have they got kind of a cool theater in there too. You go in and you watch the history thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think John Wade would like King of the Hill, but I don't even think he would like it. It'd probably be goddamn liberals.
That's a callback from Hank.
Yeah, that is a callback. Yeah, I used to deliver wine in all over Texas. I was in a box, but that was my past profession. Okay, Peggy's fade out. Season 14, episode 6. Hank discovers that Bill's new coworkers think that Bill is married, while Bobby discovers Connie's boyfriend may be cheating on her. Peggy struggles with her self-identity after getting rejected from a teaching position or something like that. A teaching job. It's like ... It's like it's too long for the description. It won't let me click on it.
So
to read
for me, I was in a box, had a good point, said could be dating Chang. And that may be a thing as well, because I can see him cheating on her.
That's possible too, if he says mutual friend, but I just don't see Chang Wasana as a friend. I guess if they're defining him as a friend, but again, we did miss out on all the high school and junior high stuff. We only get him in 6th grade. We don't get him past that.
I think him and his dad are going to end up being part owner in that place that Bobby works. That's
potential too. I think so. So maybe we got a couple more episodes that kind of maybe might allude to it. So what's the next one? Season 14, episode 7, Any Given Hill Day. Bobby tries to bond with Hank at the Dallas Cowboys fantasy camp, but Willow interferes. Peggy starts a lending library in an effort to bring the neighborhood together. So I think about the lending library thing. That phenomenon wasn't present during that time, which it is a cool thing. I really think it's a cool project for Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, or just anybody that wants to do things like that to help try to promote literacy. Anything that promotes literacy, I'm for, because 55% of Americans can own 55. That's like 100 and 70 million people in the United States cannot read above a 6th grade level. Or more than that. There's 330 million, and over half, 5% of over half cannot read above a 6th grade level. So anything that promotes literacy, I'm for. Willow, the way this picture looks, and according to the vegan comment that we hear Peggy make in the clip that we've seen already, where she talks about, well, might as well just put a bowl of lettuce or a bowl of grass in front of her and let her eat that. So that's what I think Willow is his girlfriend that they're talking about, the vegan girlfriend, because the thumbnail is them at looks like the Cowboys Stadium, and it's like a purple-haired girl with the side shaved, with her arm on Bobby's shoulder, and they're both wearing the same silver and blue Dallas Cowboy color. There's no logo or nothing.
Yeah,
it's
sure.
the same color. It's like the Dallas Cowboy logo colors. So I think that's what that might entail there. I think that his girlfriend he takes with him might not be a big fan of football, and she probably just complains the whole time, and it just ruins the experience for both Bobby and Hank, maybe. Season 14, episode 8.
I'm not sure she's going to make it long term.
Yeah, maybe not. We'll see. I mean, this is episode 7, so she made it through 7 episodes.
Yeah,
because the way they make it seem is like they're going to introduce her pretty early, but I don't know. We might not even hear about her until episode 7. The next one, though, is season 14, episode 8, Conscious Uncoupling. The Sufanusen phones throw a lavish anniversary party to hide a secret that only Hank knows. Bobby is stressed out catering the party while trying to help Connie. So this is my assumption here. In this little thumbnail picture, you could see what looks like a grown, maybe Chain Wasana song, standing with Connie Jr.
Yeah.
And then next to them is on the right side in the thumbnail is Con and Min, and then on the other hand is Chain Wasana Song's parents. So I'm thinking that Conscious Uncoupling, we've alluded to them not being together in leaks and stuff. So I'm thinking they're not together, and they're having this anniversary party because they've never told anybody they're not
trying
together.
to cover it up. Yeah.
But only Hank knows they're not together.
Yeah.
And it's to save face in front of people. You know how they are. They're like, they try to keep up with every, Tom, Dick, and Harry in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Keeping up with the Joneses. They're always trying to keep up. So maybe that's why they do it. And Bobby kind of probably knows, and he's trying to cater the party, and he's trying to, maybe comfort her in a way that maybe her boyfriend can't, because they were neighbors for so long and friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if they're not together, they grew up like next door to each other for a lot of their lives at this point in the TV show. If you think about how much time has passed, they were neighbors through all of that up until they went to college, kind of thing. So the next episode, season 14, episode 9, No Hank Left Behind. Hank takes Good Hank. So we get to see Good Hank. We get to see a grown-up GH.
Wow.
To a men's camp to install good values, but the camp is not what Hank thought it would be. Peggy stays at Bobby's apartment after getting an MRI. So I don't know what any of that entails there, but we see Good Hank.
Here's my wish for that one episode, is that we get a flashback about how horrible Cotton was to him when he was growing up. And now he's going to have to try to replace that with good values rather than bad values. You know what I mean?
What if Good Hank didn't? What if we find out that he died before Good Hank was even old enough to get any value from him? And
that's what I'm saying. This is a perfect opportunity to flash back to some scene we've never seen with Cotton treating Hank like garbage.
Maybe Hank Sr. I don't think he would. I think like if we have any flashback that pertains to Good Hank, I think everything that he has with him is positive. I don't know. I just don't see him being.
No, I'm just saying Hank is having that. Hank is having.
Oh, Hank is having the flashback.
Hank's having the flashback, and he's like, I got to do something for GH so he grows up better or has better whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's a great opportunity.
Takes Good Hank to a men's camp. So are they insinuating that he's like a full? Is he 18? Or is he like, well, how old is he? That's what I'm curious about. Yeah.
He would be what, 17?
Depends on how far this show was back, because I think by the end of the show he was like 3 or 4, so he could be 18. Like, so it's possible that he could be around 18 because he was a toddler by the show's end. I'm pretty sure.
Do you think he's as mean to Hank as his dad was?
No, I don't think so. I think they have a weird uncle nephew kind of vibe, bond going on. Like, not necessarily like a brother thing, but he might feel more like an uncle to him, kind of thing.
Do we get to see Dee Dee?
Yeah, I think Dee Dee will pop up. I don't see why not. Isn't that Ashley Gardner that does her voice? Maybe, I don't know. And the next one is,
it says GH is 12 years younger than Bobby, by the way.
If he's 12 years younger than Bobby, yeah, he might not be able to be that age then. Because, well, no, if Bobby's like 24, 25, that kid could be about 17, 18. We'll see. We'll find out. It says men's camp, so
yeah.
I'm assuming he's at least a teenager. You don't take, they used to call the was it man, there was some Christian youth men, they used to call it youth men's conference or something, YC, or I don't know, something I used to go to, but it was just like teenagers and grown men that kind of went to it. It was like a men's retreat kind of thing. And now that I look at that and I look back at all that stuff, that shit is weird. That's so weird.
Well, think about there were a couple of things, right? There were those youth conferences. Yeah. And then when I was a teenager, there were these strong guys that would come in and rip phone books in half and tell you about Jesus.
That's crazy. We have that guy, that Hispanic guy that pops and locks.
Yeah.
What does he say? The armor of God, chest.
Yeah.
That guy or whatever, the Hispanic guy. He's awesome. Actually, Gio did something with him. He has like videos with Gio. Yeah. That guy that went viral. He was like popping and locking Jesus Christ. Season 14, episode 10, A Sounder Investment. And this is almost like a callback to that crazy episode with Trip Larson and the pig stuff. So Peggy and Hank's friends start a pig eradication business. Okay, now let me bring context to this. Anybody that doesn't know anything about Texas, in Central Texas specifically,
that should say hog.
It should probably say hog instead of pig.
Yeah,
you could say wild pig and be correct. Probably wild pig is probably more correct than hog, because a lot of these feral pigs that are out there were domesticated and were reintroduced to the wild and became wild pigs. Because you take a domesticated pig and you leave it in the wild long enough, and it will grow tusks. And that's not even generational. You take a domesticated pig right now and throw it with a bunch of wild pigs, and in a few years time, it'll start to change. Like, its snout will change and it will start to get tusks and stuff like that. So there's like this feral thing in pigs that they adapt to that feral stuff really quick, because all they do is root. They're rooting animals.
Sure.
So when they rut up stuff and they do that and they produce, and they're really easy. Some animals struggle with the reproductive process, but they don't. It's real easy for pigs. Pigs, the only other animal I think that has sex for pleasure other than human beings. I think it's pigs and dolphins or something like that. Do you remember, what was that show, Mansers or something like that, where they would have like a weird question, and it was like on Spike TV back.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. One of them told me and my buddy at 17 years old that you could smoke nutmeg and hallucinate.
Sure.
So we smoked a bunch of nutmeg to see if we could hallucinate, and you can, but it's not what you think, and it's awful, and it's the most horrible thing in the world, because you're literally poisoning yourself. But we didn't know that at the time. We were just watching TV. They were talking about smoking banana peels and stuff. Did not do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
But that's all of it. So it says Peggy and Hank's friends start a pig eradication business. Hank is hesitant to join them. Bobby and Connie struggle to bond as adults.
Well, that sounds kind of like a cliffhanger.
A cliffhanger foreshadow, yeah. They might not, they're not a couple in this season from everything that we could see just based on thumbnails. Literally 2 thumbnails next to each other. Season 14, episode 7, and episode 8. One of them has Bobby with a girl, and the other one has Connie with what looks like probably Chain Wasana song. So, yeah.
Hey, Jake joined and asked what happened. I had a little neck surgery, so I had to wear this for another week. But that's it. Thanks for checking. Appreciate it.
That's what happens when you try to eat the beans out of the can without the spoon.
True. Hey, I don't think any of that kept me from wanting to see all 10 episodes as fast as I can.
No, I want to see all 10 episodes as quick as I can.
Yeah.
And again, if you, I need to know pretty quick so I can put the time in off. But if you want to do something that night, I could take that night off for sure, and we could do something.
When is it's on the 4th, right?
It's on the 3rd at 11 p.m. for us Central Time.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Yeah, and I'll come up to the studio if you want. We could just we could do a watch along or whatever you want to do. We could talk about it,
cool.
whatever.
It'd be cool.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you again for joining us. We appreciate it. Always like these Friday episodes because we get to say stuff, you know. Jake says, thanks, Mike, for answering. Big fan of the podcast and been watching the show and the podcast. Thanks, Jake. Appreciate it, man.
And if you're binge watching the podcast, I apologize. Me and Mike both apologize for any sound issues on any episodes that have sound issues. It is what it is. We we're an indie podcast. We're not, we're not iHeartMedia or nothing. So
yeah, but I'm saying always tell us because I'll figure it out.
Let us know. Let us know, and we'll figure it out. Well, there was one episode where something was wrong with the mics, and all it did was pick up our volume from the camera mic.
Yeah.
And somebody was complaining about that episode recently.
I'm sure it sounds terrible.
Yeah. Listen to it if you can. If you can't, maybe me and Mike might one day go back and redo the ones that are the worst that you guys want fixed or whatever. We're just
Propane Man 9 says almost there. Yep.
Almost.
Almost there.
We're almost in the twilight sound.
Well, I think what's funny is we're on the last episode of season 7, right?
We are. Yeah, we're like we're hanging on. Yeah.
So we can do that. Hardy says your sound's been good for 2 years.
Thanks, Hardy. Appreciate it. Well, that's what I'm saying. A lot of these people are finding our show, Artie, and they're going back and they're watching stuff. I'm getting comments on stuff that I posted when I first started the YouTube page. So it's
a good thing. It's a good thing.
It's not a bad thing. No, it's a great thing because that's really what helps drive the channel. If people are going back and watching older stuff, it pushes everything to the algorithm. So
yeah,
I really don't mind that.
But hey, thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for being here for a Friday. And I think that just leaves us one more thing to say.
Yeah, a big old Weematanya.
Weematanya indeed, guys. See you. All right, there you go.
There we go.
We got one for Monday and Friday, and then
good.
This
I'm
next
coordinate with I can't remember his name.
Find out when he can do it.
I got all the stuff but I'm gonna reach back out to him. Find out when he can do it. If it ends up being a Saturday or a Sunday or whatever I'll just suck it up and just deal with the reality of life and just be there for that.
Yeah.
I'll also be there Monday for that. That's at 9, you said?
Yeah, 9 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah, I could be there.
He's doing two different articles. Did I send you the stuff on it?
No, send me the stuff on it so I know what
he's looking for 2 things. One is like Dale conspiracy theories, and the other one is I don't remember what the other one is, but I'll send you both of those. If we can just have a couple of things loaded, then we're good.
Yeah, I'll have some ready. I just need just whatever the prompt is or whatever he's giving you so I could kind of prepare and have something ready for it. And so everybody be on the lookout for Cracked. So there will be 2 Cracked articles coming out.
Yeah, I forgot to bring that up.
With our name on it, I guess, or with some type of we're correspondents, unpaid correspondents for Cracked Magazine and the King of the Hill space.
Yeah, we're their go-to guys a lot of the time.
Yeah,
King of the Hill stuff.
I don't know how their pay cycle works, but they could at least buy some Jersey mics.
Sure.
Subs.
Is that what you want? You want some Jersey mics out of it?
Well, I was actually looking at some of their advertising. They advertise they advertise to stoners a lot, like more so sure. I feel like than a lot of other companies, because I was noticing that they had it was literally I guess it was a social media influencer like smoking weed in the backseat of their car and taking a nap and then like waking up and going inside and ordering a Jersey Mike sub. I don't know what that was about. I don't generally go into public spaces, smoke weed into my backseat of my car, take a nap, and then go inside and get a sub. You know, I mean, generally I would do all those things, but not in that order. I feel like napping in your car and then getting a sandwich while napping in the park. I don't know. And I mean, unless it's your lunch break, maybe, and you got a long lunch. I don't know. I would have just got the sandwich and went home, honestly.
The sandwich sounds pretty damn good. I wish I could swallow it right now, but
yeah, a sandwich does sound pretty good. I don't know what I'm gonna eat. It's bedtime for me though in the next hour or so. Yeah.
All right, buddy. I'll see you later. Take it easy.
Sir. Later on.
I'm gonna end this and then I'll back us up.